All right. Try and get a quick little stack out. I got a quick stack, only a few comics, but I have been trying over and over and over to get these out. So we're going to try one last time and see what happens. Starting off with Archie and Friends. Hot Rod Racing, one shot. Came out recently. A lot of fun. Lots of great little racing stories in here. Start your engines. A brand new story kicks off this Need for Speed issue in the race to save face. Meet Daisy Thunder of the Southside Serpents. She's challenging Archie and his crew to a charity race throughout Riverdale. Can Archie prove that his souped up jalopy can best Daisy's Hot Wheels? All that plus more racing fun. So it was a lot of fun, a lot of different creators that were part of this. We got the first race to face story where Archie and this Daisy gal that happens to be new to the stories. This is apparently her first appearance, but yet we get a flashback to a little Archie story where he had his clumsiness caused some issues with her, and because of that, that's why she's calling him out during this race and doing some things. We get some fun little. They go past like a haunted house area. We got some creatures that attack and stuff. All kinds of things happen during this jalopy race. It was a lot of fun. And then we get another story about Archie and a little drag race storyline and kind of like causing some problems with Betty. And also, we got Reggie trying to get someone's attention. And so Reggie's doing his thing to beat Archie so he can get the winning prize brought to him by a certain girl. And some interesting twist happen along the way. We get Archie in Racing Story where he's in a nice little race, and all of a sudden something happens where his accelerator gets stuck and he goes flying out of the stadium and ends up crashing into a certain area of Riverdale that we all know. Then we get drag drama where we got the guys working on their drag racers and the girls trying to get their attention, and they're mad because the guys aren't hooting and hollering at them when they're working on their cars. So they do some other things to get the guys' attentions, and you can just imagine what happens along the way. Then we get the Moose is Loose story where Dylan and Moose are working on a dragster. Well, Dylan's working on a dragster that he uses a super vacuum cleaner motor that he soups up his motor with, and he makes it where there's a remote control thing so Moose can hit the button from the sidelines when the Christmas tree or the drag track hits green, and it launches the car off for Dilton. And some things happen along the way that ends up where Moose goofs up some things like usual, and some things happen because of it. Then we get a little intro to our Daisy Thunder character, and I was really surprised because she's pretty aggressive in this story, so you would think that she would have had an appearance before this, and I'm guessing the little Archie wasn't an actual appearance, it's just a flashback that we're seeing now that was never in a little Archie magazine, I'm guessing, since they're saying that this is her first appearance. But with her aggressiveness and her Southside Serpents thing, I would have thought she would have been on there before, but I'd definitely like to see some more of that character in the future. And then we got Super Fun Altogether, Cactus and Liz. I believe this is a one shot, and I'd like to see it become an ongoing story. Uh, see where it goes. Someone's messaged me or something. Uh, but it starts out with this cactus in a planter in the desert and a lizard character, Liz, that's trying to hang out in the cactus's shade, keep keep cool from the desert heat. But then a turtle crossing the road crosses a truck to have some problems, and a box goes flying, and it's got like an interdimensional portal or something going on in it, and it lands on top of our characters, and they get glitched into like this computerized style world that's never ending. And they're wanting to get back to the desert, so they're like trying to make a deal with this fairy creature and this robot creature and try and find a way out of there. And there's like, they say there's one certain way, so they go on this adventure. Sorry, my throat is just completely rasped out from redoing this multiple times. Sadly, I had a couple good good ones up there, but I'm trying to remember what I all talked about and still get them out. But yeah, they during their travels, they have all kinds of interesting things happen along the way, and get to see what's going on and how they get through this. The art was fun and great. There's lots of great characters and creatures and all kinds of things happening throughout this. Lots of fun twists and turns, but the writing portion of it, I don't know. I'll have to reread it a couple times, but I got a little confused of what they were talking about in here a few times. But otherwise, lots of fun. Done by Franco. Nicholas F. Urillian and Eric Wolfgang worked on this. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. I hope they. I hope we get to see these characters some more. I'm really interested in them, and I want to know what happens to them in the future. All right, we got Tales of the Bizarre presents the most dangerous game, issue 4. These are basically one story per issue. I thought there were 2 stories per issue, but they took longer than they were supposed to come out with the first issue. Then it was like I missed an issue because I forgot to order because it was taking so long in between issues. Something must have happened. So, but we basically have a character that's on a hunting spree. Or this guy here goes out hunting, and along the way, this is written by James Muscaya and Jack Linzes. Along the way, some things happen, and he's off on a hunt, and then they go off to deal with getting their money for whatever they need and getting their stocks, their supplies, and all that set up. And then while they're flying off to their next area, wherever they're going to go, they end up going over a planet. They take a shortcut, and this planet ends up having a gravitational pull that pulls them into it. And basically, the hunter becomes the hunted. The story we've heard of 1,000 times before has its own interesting twist. It was all right. The only problem I had with these after I read this one, I believe the other ones were the same way with me. The ending was very light, and the ending should have went a little bit deeper, a little bit better end to the storyline. But yeah, they leave you hanging like they're going to come back with a second issue and you're going to see more, but you're not going to really see more because who knows? Unless they redo these stories in the future, I don't think we're going to see more of these characters unless they do something like that. But and if I gotta wait for delays like this for stuff to come out, I'll just wait for the trades if I'm interested in something and go from there. And we have Usagi Yojimbo the Crow, part 1 of 3, or part 1 of 5. I mean, about that. This is number 275 in the Legacy run, the overall Usagi Yojimbo story. But our characters are off again, traveling. The close of the 16th century Japan is regarded as the age of civil wars. As feudal lords fought amongst themselves for land and power, it was during the Battle of Adakigahara that the samurai Miyamoto Usagi lost his Lord Mifune to the armies of Lord Hikage. With no clan, Usagi now walks the warrior pilgrimage, searching for harmony and increasing his skills. Still heading south, Usagi and his cousin Yukichi hope to finally make it out of the frozen mountains. Having survived encounters with the freezing cold, the demon G, an evil yokai, and a town filled with hungry shapeshifters, now they're just traveling in between towns, going to the next town. As they do, they come across some characters that are attacking one character, four on one. So of course they help out the one person, and we find out later once they get to the village that the character who can control crows has some things going on, and this village is full of people that are hunting this character. So you can imagine what's going on with that, and then we get to we get to see Jen again make an appearance, which is one I always like when he's in the storylines. He's a very greedy person, always taking advantage of Usagi. So Usagi's got to pay him back a little more, I think, for what he's done. But yeah, I like that. I like where that story's going. I love all the little runs. Like I always call them individual runs, but they're just on part of the overall Usagi story, and they just each have their own little storyline, which is nice. And lots of fun stories throughout there. I've yet to be disappointed by a Usagi Yojimbo story. And then this one is some manga that the wife picked up somewhere. I can't remember where, but Tomodachi Monster #1. So we do have a little thing on the back that can help me explain it. It's definitely an interesting storyline. A mysterious voice beckons Naramaya Wataru, a lonely sixth grader, luring him into the mountains outside his rural Japanese village. There, Wataru meets a strange new friend, Piki, a bizarrely cute creature with cross stitches over its mouth. Wataru soon learns that there is a hidden world of monsters that partner with young children, and together they enter horrifying death matches. Watch what really happens when kids with no conscience get hold of cuddly little killers to do their bidding. This is it's like Pokemon gone mad in here. Here's his little peaky character. It's like when I first seen him, I'm like, well, cut those stitches off his mouth, but that never came up. I was kind of surprised about that, but he can hear the character talking to him, so they can talk through mental telepathy or whatever. But yeah, you get some very interesting characters along the way, including stitched together monster that you see in the ceiling there. We have a kid that's got a character that can turn into like a spinning fan and cut things. We got a character that can zombify people that die during a battle or something like that. You can zombify them, and then they end up stitching the bodies of their enemies into this big monster. He keeps adding on to this monster. Uh, yeah, a girl like a snake creature that comes out of her. They give us the little info on the characters and their owners. But yeah, you get to meet. It's kind of like in imaginary friends, because only ones that can see them are other Tomodachi monster kids. Kids that have their own monster can see the other ones, but if you don't have them, you can't see them. It's kind of neat how they did this. As I know how these manga runs can just go way out of hand and have just so many issues. I'd love to see how far this went and check it out. It's Yoshihiko Hiko Uni, you know, Yoshihiko I think it's how you say it. But yeah, you're a kid, and you get called upon by these creatures, and they become your little battle friend, and yeah, you can die in battle. So we got kids that are chained up and stuff, all kinds of interesting stuff going on in here. It's pretty trippy, and some of these powers and characters' abilities are pretty unique. But yeah, those are definitely a fun, interesting storyline. I'm going to be looking for other issues of that at one of the shops that I'm going to for Free Comic Book Day, because they have a ton of the manga back issues, so maybe I'll be able to pick up a couple more of those. I'd love to see how these battles go and what other creatures and stuff become part of these battles. But yeah, if you're looking for some fun, full-fledged death Pokemon style battles type things, this is the way to go. You got lots of interesting characters, creatures, and all that stuff. But yeah, that's it for today. Quick rundown. Had to get something out for the week. Uh, but yeah, it's gonna be kind of a probably might be a quiet week until I get done with Free Comic Book Day and I get those videos put up. But we'll see what happens. Keep following Under the Color of MS. Rate, review, subscribe, tell a friend, and check out Crimson Color Comic Club. We do our group comic book reviews on there. Plus, we've had a few comic book creators that we've done interviews with that were a lot of fun, so check those out too. And we will get back to you with more fun sometime soon, and some not so fun. Some goofy, disgusting medical stuff every now and then. But yeah, you don't have to watch those. Just pick the ones that you enjoy. There's a little bit of everything for everybody I try to put out there. So we'll be back with more stuff soon. Take care. Bye.